Hello again! Well, that's not quite finished, but I made all the compartments, and the original one has far more compartments, but honestly I found it was getting really busy, and in miniature sometimes it looks different than in full scale. And I must say, making all these little compartments, very boring. I'm sorry. I don't know. Did not enjoy that. So I made another one, and I was going to make a similar one, so I had two. I'm not going to do that. I just, no. I think this is one of those pieces that would really benefit from a laser cutter or something similar. So if you could just draw that in the computer and cut all these pieces out, that would be really, really helpful. But I don't have those. So anyway, I need to stain this and then age it. And we'll see how it ends up. So I'm going to use Rustin's wood dye, and I've got dark oak, medium oak, and ebony here. And I'll just try these colors on these pieces that I have left over. And yeah, you have to shake it really well, because there's the color tends to go to the bottom. I have some chopsticks. I always keep those when we get a takeaway, and we don't use them. But they're perfect for this kind of stuff. Right, so ooh, that's already quite dark. Huh. That's medium oak. Wow. Yeah. It looks almost black. And I also don't think we need the ebony, because it's so dark already. That'll be too much. I think I'll just go and get one that's a little bit more brown. I think walnut is always a very nice brown color, slightly warmer. That's a nice walnut color. Here are the 2 or 3 colors actually. So this is the walnut, and this is the dark oak, and this is the medium oak. I don't see an awful lot of difference between those two. So I'm just going with the dark oak. What I'll do is I'll stain the entire piece medium oak first, and then I'll just go over spots with the dark oak, or with the walnut first, and then go over with the, this is the walnut. Oh shoot. Now, my God, I've done that before. Did it? I had a cup of tea, but it smells. Yeah, it's in my tea as well. I can smell it. Okay, I'll throw that out. Well, this time I don't think it hit my anything too important. Because I remember one time when this happened to me. And basically I haven't learned a thing, have I? I think I was wearing new clothes or new pants, I can't remember. And it stained my clothes. This time I was lucky. There, okay. Let's just go quickly stain this. I hope you will still be able to see the finger joints. They should pick up color because it's the end grain of the wood and the long grain of the wood contrasting. So you should be able to see that difference, even if it's tiny. Even though it is tiny, I mean. But you can hardly see, I must say, you hardly see the finger joints. Oh well. Because of the grain of the wood, I guess, that also plays a part. So maybe you shouldn't use oak. Right, let that dry, and then I'll try and see what I can do with the dark oak. So this is where I'm at now. I've just applied stain to first the medium oak and then the dark oak stain on all the edges and the sides of the edges as well. And then I actually buffed it with some paper and it makes it shine a little bit. And I will be using wax, and I'm also going to try to stain the wax, but I'll do that later. I don't know if that's going to work. But first, the real one has these little metal corners or metal, I don't know, supports on each of the corners. And I thought of doing that as well with some foil, and this is just some foil which is quite strong, that came from an aspirin packet. But then you would have to cut circles so very, very tiny. I didn't think that would be an option, to be honest. It would be very, very fiddly, and there's also a pin in the middle of it, and I don't think that's going to work. So the second thing I thought of doing, I've got this liquid metal acrylic paint, which I got a couple of years ago in London. This is from Cornelissen, the art shop in London. Fantastic shop, really wonderful. Well, this is the brand Robbers and Company, but I thought I'd give that a go, see how that behaves. And of course, I'll try it on my test strips, not on the real piece. See, because it's acrylic, it's a little bit thicker. So that's why I thought that might be a good option. Oh, I think that will be a good option. Yeah, I think that might work. Just let that dry, and I might do that. And then after that, I will make a few more because I want to test. After that, I'm going to try and color some clear wax that I have, and I'm thinking of using oil pastels to color it. I have no idea if that works. I've never done that, so that's what I came up with, and I'll just have to try. I'll just have to try it, because basically the color pastels will be a pigment. And while that is drying, I will just get my pastels out. There. And here are the pastels, and it says here, can make stains on textile. These stains are not washable. So, yeah. Which means these pigments are quite potent, I think. What color should I do? Maybe, because I want to have some, I think I'll just do some brown, maybe some of this brown, and a little bit of gray. Maybe that's too dark, we'll see. And I can add some colors in there. And I don't know if it will work. So I've got a little dish. Actually, these are the covers for ice cream. We get, in the summer, we get ice cream usually on the weekends. And these little things are covers, so you can take them away. And I keep them, and I have a lot of them. And I wash them, and I use them for, paint and stuff. So, and I actually think you have to pay for them. I think it's 10 cents per cover. So, it's quite expensive. But this is all in an effort to reduce use of plastic. So I've got a grater here. Actually, I bought a really small one specifically for this kind of stuff. Oh, actually, I was going to say I don't know where it is, and it just came to me. I know where it is. I'll go get it. Here it is. I actually use it to grate the borax cone for silver making. When you solder silver, you can get something called fire scale, and borax, it comes in a cone, hard, and it prevents fire scale, so you have to grate it, or actually you have to grind it on a little dish, and I like to grate it first. And that's what I use this little thing for. But anyway, now I'm going to use it to grate the pastels. If you hear a lot of noise in the background, it's because they're redoing our driveway, and there's a big machinery going on outside. I'll just mix some colors and see how that comes out. It's a little bit coarse still, but it's okay. And a bit red. Now I'll just go and try and mix in some wax and see what happens. Oh yeah, that works really well. Well, if it stains your clothes, I would say it will stain the wood. But this is a nice brown. Isn't that a nice color? Quite warm. So basically you can make purple wax or green wax, and pastels come in a lot of colors. If you go to an art shop, you can usually buy them just individually. and not just, this is a cheap set, but it's it's fine. It works. And more expensive ones usually have better pigments in them, but I think these are going to be very good anyway. A little bit of wood. Yeah. Excellent. That's good. Great. I'm glad that works. But, these things, you just have to try out stuff, and usually I like to have lots of supplies around my workshop. So when I want to do something, I can just grab something and try it out. And in this case, I did not have colored wax. So I was thinking, how should I go forward with this? And then, I just thought, okay, maybe I can use it, some pigments to color it. That works. I'm very happy with that. This has dried, and maybe the thicker layers haven't completely dried, but it's fine. I just want to test whether the wax will stain or color the acrylic paint. So there's a hair. So let's yeah, of course. Yeah, that's just what I want. Doesn't surprise me, but I mean, you just have to test it before you do that on your real piece, and that is just what I want. That's very nice. Yeah, so now I'll just go ahead and paint little dots on there, on all these cross points. And I have to say that mine isn't like the original, because I don't know if I already said that, but I got so bored with doing all these little slats, making these little cubby holes, and it was boring. Sorry, and it got very busy. In miniature, it always looks slightly different than in full scale, so I didn't like, there was too much going on. And the other thing is that I could have gone a little bit thinner with these partitions, these little slats there, because they're thicker than the ones that I have on the full scale one. And maybe I should have done that, but it's fine. I still like it. So, right, paint and then wax. So that has dried, and now I can take the wax and just paint it on there, I think. A little brush. Oh, that's a bit much. It's okay. And I also want to do it, put the wax in the little compartments so that it has a little bit more warmth. Right. After some wax, and so I used the colored wax, and I've used some black pastel as well, and I put that in the little compartments, and I even did some wormholes, wood wormholes. I don't know if you can see that, but they are there over here and here. So not very visible, and I think with the naked eye it would be almost impossible. Well, you can see them, but very faintly. But anyway, I like the way it looks now. I like the colors, and I did a little bit more work on the edges, and it's all very, very subtle, like these bits here and these edges here, but it just adds to the look, the overall look. So at the moment, I think it looks really nice. And maybe I could even do some scratches here from where the drawer went into the cabinet. So I could do that, or not. But I will sign my name on it, which is a good thing. What else? Now I have to make the handle, and I still don't know how to do that. I haven't come up with a plan for that. The lettering, Elizabeth, in the comments said something like, knowing you, you'll also make the letters on the drawer handle. Now, as you can see, this is my little finger. The drawer handle is going to be smaller than my little finger, my nail, probably. Then I have to write Stevenson, and what was it, Stevenson? What was it called again? I looked them up. Here. Where is it? Here. Stevenson Blake and Company. And it says on Wikipedia, Stevenson Blake is an engineering company based in Sheffield, England. The company was active from the early 19th century as a type founder, remaining until the 1990s as the last active type foundry in Britain. since when it has diversified into specialist engineering. The type foundry began operations in 1818, and then it continues with who and why it was named. Stevenson and Blake, and they're two of the founders of the company. But as it's going to be so incredibly small, I don't see how I could do that without, maybe wax carving, but it's going to be incredibly small. And lettering I find particularly difficult because it has to be the same type. What is that type? I would say that is called the type, and it has to be straight, and it will look awful if you don't do it correctly. So I don't think that's an option. And the only thing I could think of is have it 3D printed. And again, I don't even know if that's possible because it's really, really small. And I don't know how to 3D print. So, yeah. So I think, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I'm not going to do the lettering on there. And I still don't know how to make it. I would like to make a metal one, but we'll see. I don't think that's going to be for this week, though. That will take a little bit of time. One thing I found quite interesting was which typefaces they made. And it says the foundry types produced by Stevenson Blake fall into 3 categories. Those designed in-house, those designed by firms subsequently merged into Stevenson Blake, and those designs licensed from other foundries. And then if you go down that list, Algerian, I mean, there's quite a lot of them that are original designs by Stevenson Blake and Company. You know, Playbill Kings. I mean, they're well-known type. What are they called again? Type faces. Typefaces. Baskerville. Actually, I used Baskerville for Miniature in June, so I thought that was interesting. But yeah, it's funny that I've had that thing for so many years, and I didn't even know that maybe that held the typefaces or the type, the metal types castings in that drawer. There we are. With the original in the background, and I know it's not entirely the same. That doesn't matter. It looks really nice. I do think the background of the compartments could be a little bit lighter. And this, actually, the background here, that is, that is paper. As you can see here, there's a little bit loose. And here you can see the light wood on the background. But it is paper backed, and I'm not sure why they did that, because you're not able to take this out, so you cannot replace it. But anyway, it is paper. I'm not going to do that now. Maybe I'll try to get it lighter. Maybe I can use some more pastel chalk in there to get it a little bit lighter. Also, I didn't do the ink stains because, like I said before, with the amount of compartments, it gets very busy if it's in miniature. And I didn't like that, so I didn't go, too far with the staining. But I like the color. I really like it. So the other thing I didn't do, actually, it's upside down. It should be, doesn't really matter. But here you can see, well, can almost see. My table isn't big enough. My dimensions are a little bit different, so the proportions of the compartments are different. These are all squares, and then of course these are in squares that are, divided in half again. Here in fours, And I've done only a few of those, but mine aren't here. That one is square. These are square, but the rest isn't. These are square, but the rest isn't. So change that a little bit. And what else is there? But I think I really like it. And again, the handle, yeah, I still have to, I'm not going to do that this time. I still have to think about it. And the lettering, I just thought maybe, but I'm not sure, because it is really, really small. It's going to be really, really small. Maybe I can do it with a print, just a paper print on the handle, and maybe do some embossing or something like that. Even for that, it's going to be tiny. But we'll see. I have to think about it. It will take some time before I come up with a plan for that. And for now, I just like it. And also, I have to find some stuff to go in there. Like I said the first time, I don't have really tiny, tiny things. So we'll see. Anyway, that's it for today. And again, the other one is a bit lighter. Oh, I put some white wax on it. I haven't even finished buffing that, because there's some white on here as well, so I thought I'll put some white on there. My conclusion is, if you want to see the finger joints really well, that one is broken off. Don't use oak, or don't stain it, because as you could see in the beginning of the video, when I still didn't stain it, when the oak was still, well, just natural, you could see the finger joints. Now you really cannot. I know they're there. You cannot see them at all. And the other thing I said, do the scratches on the back. This one actually doesn't have any, because the edge of the tray, that's where it slides on, and mine is flush, but the edges on this one is a little bit higher, so I could still do that, but yeah, maybe. So it's a continuing story. And I must say, I also really did like the natural oak one. So, yeah. But there. Finished for now. Thank you for watching. I have to put them in the middle, right? Like that. Thank you for watching. Until next time.